Don't have me on the screen yet. Honey.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Somewhat muted this morning after the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club outing yesterday evening. Excellent wine choice. The Trincas Bolotas, forgive me. I think it means fallen acorns, which are fed on those pigs in the Alentejo. Well, we had a lovely evening last night. I was going to almost said we feasted and drank like pigs ourselves last night, but it was a refined affair and great fun. So thank you to everybody who joined us, including the Austins, who are in Iceland, looking at the Aurora Borealis and celebrating a special birthday for Linda. So happy birthday, Linda. Thank you very much for taking the trouble to join us last night before dinner. I hope you had a superb evening and were able to see the Northern Lights once more. No such luck here in San Martino de Porto. Barely see the sun in the sky. If you squint your eyes, that looks like a great big snail making its way down the foggy street where we live. But that's how it looks, which means it's much milder this morning, which Mrs. M will be glad about. She's here. Let's bring her onto the screen, shall we? And see what the situation is like today. How's that?
Hello.
Now, is that better for you this morning?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not, is it?
Hang on, the camera's all wonky.
We need a little of work on the lighting, don't we?
Yeah.
But I was saying, before you came onto the screen and joined us, you look like you're probably in an 80s video. It's very black and white, isn't it? With a hint of red lipstick.
Yeah.
Look, I'd like to try myself one of these mornings.
Well, red lipstick. It's been a while since since I've seen you in lipstick.
Yeah, it's been a while, isn't it? My panto days seem to be behind me. But if anyone is,
oh no, they're not.
Very good. If the Silver Coast Players are putting on a panto, I'd love to be auditioned for that. Yeah, casting couch business, definitely. Let's go with that. So, hello, bon dia, alegria, Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. Not sure if I did that bit yet or not. Mrs. M also here for the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast too. How are you this morning? Tudo bem?
I've been up since 5:45.
Why?
Because I've been listening to podcasts. You've been
podding and pocking on the podcast, haven't you?
I've been listening to podcasts and making notes and things like that.
Very good.
I'm a bit of a, sort of sly boffin, aren't I?
Sly boffin.
Like to get up early and what's the word? Feast my mind on things.
On information and education. Fair enough. Well, we've got some lovely thoughts for the day for you this morning. Cue this and also T-Duck's wonderful deep thought as well, and a who knew. So more information and education.
Who knew?
A Hugo Nunu for you this morning.
Why do you say Hugo Nunu? Who's Hugo?
Who knew?
I've always wondered why you say that. Like Hugo Nunu.
It just seemed like a good idea at the time.
Like who's Hugo? Is that like?
No, it's just who knew.
Okay.
Who Nunu. Doesn't really work for you, does it?
No, it doesn't. I think you had to be there when you devised that for the first time. Probably.
Okay, I'm gonna. I want to try the dad jokes on you this morning, seeing as your sense of humour is on fire this morning.
Go on then.
Okay, well, we'll work our way through those, and we'll say good morning this morning to T-Duck. Great to see you, mate. Coach Turner, yesterday you were up and out early, and you left your comments on the wrong show. But it's okay. I brought them with me this morning. This 6:30 yesterday morning. Morning, Gumpers, early one as I'm running Mrs. T and friend to the airport. We'll catch up later. God's God tip of the day. The time of year encourages overindulgence. The Bishop Turner, it sounds like, doesn't it? This time of year encourages overindulgence. And I've had 3 days of it. He's already started with an adverse effect on my weight. So this week, I'm off the juice and eating sensibly. Well done, Coach T. That's part of the balance needed to be able to enjoy life. Well, we weren't able to do that ourselves last night. Red wine and a few snacks. And then, in a boozy kind of way, I knocked up steak, mushrooms, potatoes, and a medley of vegetables, didn't I?
It was very nice.
But you always know when you've been cooking in a slightly drunken state because it directly responds.
Yeah, the kitchen is a mess this morning. Thank goodness you only do the wine review once a month.
Yes, not my usual tidy self in the kitchen last night. A bit more at this end of things. Okay, but Coach T this morning, that was yesterday morning, this is this morning. Don't forget, he says, it doesn't have to be in one go. It could be, have I missed a bit? I have missed a bit. Bon dia, Gumpers, 1 degree. See that the fog here is really helping keep us warm.
Do you know, I didn't even recognise that photo as being on our road. I was thinking,
fog blanket.
I was thinking, flipping heck, it looks like we're back in the UK.
It does, doesn't it? We didn't move here for that.
I didn't actually realise that was our terrace.
Rubbish. Okay, so 1 degree there in Hertfordshire in the UK, and due to be colder still tomorrow. But you know what they say: never the wrong weather, only the wrong clothes. I didn't know they said that, but I might start saying that now. I like that.
It's a kind of Giffer thing to say. So that really does sound like the kind of thing you would say.
Oh, thank you.
I think Chief Ken would say that, wouldn't he?
The children
are you going to
swap
our photos around so we actually look like we're looking at each other rather than looking off in different directions? Hello.
We could even do that. One of those we could move backwards and forwards like weather people from an old grandma's barometer. Did you ever see those as a child?
No.
The little man and woman coming in and out of the doors. Was it a barometer or was it a clock?
I think it's cuckoo clock.
With
you're
people
referring
in it.
to,
No,
yeah.
The cuckoo clock. The name suggests it had cuckoo in it rather than people. Anyway, God's God tip of the day. On that note, I want to remind everyone that walking is the single best exercise for us as we grow more experienced. Nicely put. I don't do 30 minutes a day, but I'm so grateful to those dogs sometimes, especially when they get me out in the morning and in the evening. 30 minutes plus a day will have a positive impact on your health. Yes, I feel like I need to work a little bit on my strength as well. Don't forget that I'll be in touch, Coach Turner. Don't forget that that doesn't have to be in one go. It could be a walk to the pub and back. Now you're talking. Just make sure you raise your heart rate and breathing, not just a wander. We can
like those zigzaggy things.
What? Walk back from the pub?
Yeah.
Okay.
Crocodile walk.
I can think of better ways of raising our heart rates.
Yes,
breathing,
I can as well.
Ooh la la. Morning, James.
I don't think everyone's like going,
get a studio. Get a studio.
At home, like over their breakfast cereal or whatever.
Tony, stop it, you two. Tony Barbosa, the man in the Minho, will be with us at around 9 o'clock, talking about his trade mission from the USA for realtors. It says realtor, doesn't it, when you read it on the page?
Yeah.
Americans call it a realtor.
Really?
What's
up with them?
I shouldn't say that.
I shouldn't say that because I've got a couple of clients that are realtors, and but that means when I've been working with them, I've been referring to their career incorrectly.
Yes,
I've referred to them as realtors.
Thank me later.
Thank you.
Okay. Cue this then. Talking of education and information as you were, Joseph Campbell, great inspiration to many, the man behind the hero's journey, of course. Cue this. The privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. I like that, yeah. What do you make of that?
Yeah, that's okay.
Do you want to do a deep dive on that?
No, funny enough, I've been listening to podcasts about things very much like that.
Yeah, what really being your true self?
Well, really just letting yourself out and not limiting yourself through sort of insecurities and fears and things like that. Just absolutely being free to be yourself.
Yeah.
And seeing what happens.
Yes. Well, Shakespeare started off this malarkey. Well, he didn't start it off, but he put it very well. Did he not? Before this, above all, let me just read this to you. This might give me a panto part if I read. Oh, it's not the full quote. That's no good. To thine own self be true. I wanted the whole Shakespearean piece. Maybe I'll just get my tights out tonight and my Elizabethan roughneck.
I haven't got those boots anymore that you used to wear.
Not very Shakespearean, more 70s glam.
It was like 70s glam.
We know that's not a good look for people anymore, is it?
No, but it was good for panto.
Oh no, it wasn't.
And I don't have the same bras that you used back then that you could Where?
My career is ruined. I can't believe this. Okay,
I might need to find the photos for you.
all right. To thine own self be true. Okay. In a speech, in the speech that contains a number of different well-known Shakespeare quotes, such as "Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Neither a borrower nor lender be." My geography teacher used to say that. The apparel oft proclaims the man, Phil. Oh, the apparel oft proclaims the man. There you go. Talking of kinky boots and women's brassiers, the apparel oft proclaims the man. He was smart, that Shakespeare guy, wasn't he?
Yeah. You knew what he was talking about.
This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Did you think
you really
Richard
want
Burton,
that part, don't you?
Richard Burton was in the room for a moment with you then?
No, because Richard Burton's before my time.
Means nothing to you, does it, Richard?
Really
Burton?
means nothing to me. And
sad
I'm not a
as that.
huge fan of watching TV or movies, so lost on me, that one. But I'm sure you've captured a lot of your.
I feel slightly
a lot
sad.
of the Gumpers watching will know exactly what you're on about.
Okay, golden age of the theatre.
Yeah, I mean,
Johnny.
I go as far as maybe knowing some Doris Day movies from back in the day. That's it.
Well, she had her own line of wisdom, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, "What will I be?" Que sera, sera. It is what it is.
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
It is what it is,
Right.
definitely.
Bon dia, Gumpers, says James. Slug's annual Santa Cruz lighted boat parade. Thank you very much. Feliz terça todos, como está? We have read your cue this. We'll move on now to your Yogi Berra quote of the day. 90% of baseball is mental. The other half is physical. That's what you're meant to do.
Okay.
When you hear a Yogi Berra quote. He messes with your mind.
Yeah, what's up with that? I mean, that's the kind of arithmetic I'm hoping our kids don't pick up on.
Yeah, isn't it funny? Everything's contextual, isn't it? Because that is a fail in and again, realtor, math, the things Americans say. We would say estate agent and arithmetic or mathematics, would we not? And if you put that in...
Well, it's like Lego and Legos.
Legos.
I was going to say Legos.
Just come back from a Legos convention in Porto. Okay, so yeah, we like that, but it's good when that would work in a philosophy class, but not in a math class. Okay, I chose this cue for yesterday's show. It was a repeat, but worth repeating. Yes, like a good cheese, especially for what we talked about. So true. Thank you. Also, Carl, says James, something else I may have missed from yesterday. The name and profile pic for this week is from Slug to show you the Christmas spirit of Santa Cruz, California. So the lighted boat parade. Can we have pictures, please, of that? Bon dia, Alegria Gumpers at 8:15 this morning from T-Duck and his deep thought. And we will open up the advent calendar window this morning. I have a new one.
You got an advent calendar?
I have an advent calendar. Okay, we'll come
I
back
haven't seen that yet. That's amazing.
Ooh,
no,
I can tell that's delighted you.
Yeah.
Experiences is what you get when you didn't get what you wanted.
That's very true.
Randy Pausch.
We've had some experience, haven't we?
I'm listening. No, that's his job.
That's Monday.
That's Monday's. Okay, Randolph Frederick Pausch was an American educator and professor of computer science at Carnegie Mellon University. Heard of Carnegie? Not Mellon. Do you know of the famous philanthropist Mellon? Possibly, they were twins. Wouldn't it be great if the Mellons were twins? Twin philanthropists, very giving.
Oh, yes,
Portuguese.
I've worked with Mellon or two.
Have you? Me too, actually, I have to say. Now,
no, I have actually.
No,
one of my best clients was Mellon.
Like in Tom Hanks in Castaway.
Huh?
It just sounds like you had a watermelon sat on the desk.
No. I actually worked with a melon,
Okay.
Not actually a melon, but somebody with the
not
surname
a
Mellon.
cantaloupe or a honeydew.
No, somebody with the surname Mellon.
All right,
and then another one of my clients.
Okay. It worked for Tom Hanks, and I would recommend it for any trainee psychotherapist.
Actually, in early training days, I used to put cushions on the sofa and talk to them as if they were real people,
and then beat them up if necessary. That's a different.
Just throw lots of questions at them and drink water when I'm a bit confused.
You see, talking to
when the cushions confused me.
Talking to a melon is not, and then offering the cushions or tissues. Say, "Oh, are you upset now? Here, take one of these." And it's fine to cry We do not judge in this environment. No, Ponya. And aren't you glad that people don't judge you in a psychotherapeutic environment when you walk in, when someone walks in and they see you talking to a basket of fruit, including a melon?
Sorry, I was
Ponder
reading,
that. Okay,
I was
please
actually,
go
I
ahead.
was looking at, I was
Right,
looking at the
yes.
comments.
I went
Sorry.
too far. You're right.
You
Go
did,
on.
yeah. I laboured that a little bit, but it's okay. It's
All right.
good.
Tell me now rather than after the show. Why don't you? That melon thing too much. But just tell me in the moment, and we can deal with it, can't we? Okay.
Yeah. Well, we got some lovely.
Are you going to read the Portuguese saying or not?
No. Oh, is that what you were expecting?
Yes.
No, I haven't got my glasses on. I need to.
So, okay, just see.
Did you not see me wearing glasses yesterday? I think I need to get my eyes retested.
With the short hair and the glasses, I was thinking, who is this woman in the room? Hello. No, Ponya, a carossa.
But I mean, my glasses are from like 11 years ago, so they're like really old style, you know, like. And I looked, and I thought, Jesus Christ, I look like my 80-year-old auntie.
I didn't think that, honestly.
My Jewish auntie,
that's how my tastes have changed, possibly. No Ponya, a carossa. Na frente do bush. Don't put the cart before the oxen, please.
Okay.
Okay, remember that today.
I won't do that.
All right. And a hugo nunu, before we go, I've already explained that to you. Not very well. Portugal plays host to many bird species. Now, there was talk of a Gumper Twitcher group because a few of us, a few of us slightly feathered friends here. The country is a popular avian stopover on their migrations from Africa to Europe. To be more precise, there are around 600 species of bird.
Do you know what? I love that. When we were living in Araújo, sort of just south of Lisbon, we saw hoopoes for the first time.
Hoopoes are lovely, aren't they?
For the first time. We'd never seen them in the UK, although one of my friends in the UK recently posted a pic of one. But we had 3 on the back of our fence where we used to live, and it was amazing. And during that time, we just had our bird book out all the time, watching tree creepers and this, that, and the other. And also, one of our good friends came over and bought us one of those counters.
Yes,
what are those?
a clicker.
Cool, a clicker. And so we were like the kids, you know, they were much smaller than like clicking every time they saw a bird.
But you know what little kids are like? They were adding extra clicks because they enjoyed it so much. That was throwing the bird count, wasn't it, of Europe?
But I mean, we were like our back garden backed onto a really gorgeous, it was a golf course with like hundreds of thousands of pine trees, so there was just so much there. It was really
fantastic,
lovely.
wasn't it? Oh, but we have brought bird life to this paved
we definitely have.
We have a sparrow gang.
Yeah, we have the gang,
and some collared doves come as well, don't they?
And some big old pigeons as well.
Yeah, really.
Although
nice.
we've rehomed our chickens now, and so there's not as much available seed. And
we are asking if the people who've rehomed our chickens could rehome us as well, because they have made the most beautiful.
Yeah, they've made a palace for our chickens.
Yeah, it made us look bad, in fact.
Yeah, they have. They've put in a parasol to give them a little bit of extra shade, make them look like they're on the beach.
A swing.
They've got a swing.
Jacuzzi.
They haven't got a jacuzzi, but they've got a couple of lovely walkways so they can.
A mirror and a xylophone.
Yes, they've got a mirror and a xylophone.
It's fantastic.
They look so happy.
Do you
those
think we
chickens.
can send the kids over to them for a weekend or two?
Don't know.
Well, let's ask them later on. Okay. The advent calendar then, before we come on to the recycled dad jokes for you this morning. Do you like that, Mrs. M?
I think so. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't want to.
Oh, and you haven't got your glasses. These are tiny on the screen, but you can hear, can't you? Right. I'm going to open number 5, and you're not going to get a little chocolate liqueur, sadly.
That's a shame.
But we should maybe have a chocolate liqueur selection for these mornings.
You know, we're so lucky that our kids just aren't down with all the customs, because we've got out of.
Well, this to them, this is the advent calendar.
We haven't done an advent calendar.
We have. I've done this one.
No, but like. They have no idea. Like years ago, in our old house, Digby wanted an advent calendar. He twigged it was Christmas, and he'd seen advent calendars at the shops and stuff. And it was too late to buy them because it was like halfway through December. And
parental confessions.
And so we made a washing line in our flat, and we blew up balloons and put chocolates in all these balloons, and we had a different balloon for the rest of the days to Christmas. And then Carl made him a sword out of an old bit of.
Didn't I put sweets in each of the balloons?
Yeah, I said chocolates.
Oh, chocolates.
Yeah, chocolates or sweets. We did it a couple of years because it was so much fun.
Yeah.
But he made this like little timber sword, and then put really dangerous, put a nail in it as well, so the kids could just like swing this thing at the balloons
swashbuckle their way to
and like
Christmas.
burst the balloons. So that was our advent calendar, and we've never really got into it since.
Where did the Sword of Truth go?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think we might have left it in the UK, which is probably a good idea. So anyway, let's have a look at.
Let's have a look. So we had a Bosch Festus message on window 1.
Okay.
My message from Alcabasa.
Have you got like a Feliz Navidad kind of thing going on somewhere?
Is that good enough?
Yeah, that's nice.
Right.
Yeah.
We have my message from Alcabasa, which kicked this all off, inviting people to send in their Christmas videos from around Portugal and the world.
Mm-hmm.
You on window 3 in Alcabasa, where
that was a really nice chocolate.
Mummy, can we have the chocolate cup?
No.
Get back from my chocolate cup.
To be fair, they eat what they want when they want, and I rarely get a nice treat like that. So that was really nice.
With the residue of ginger on it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Number 4 was Dougie in Birmingham on his way to Portugal and made a little movie of the festivities in Birmingham. And this morning, going to the Algarve, it is Prosecco Peggy, who joined us for a little bit of the after party of the wine club last night. Let's see what happened in the Algarve as we open window number 5. Bum, bum. There it is.
Is this Peggy's lounge?
This is Peggy's lounge.
Oh, it's so lovely.
She had a cookie swap, which you can just about see on the screen.
I'm going to say good morning, Portugal. Good
morning. That sounds really Christmassy, doesn't
it? Thanks, Peggy. You're a star.
Love that music.
It's really great.
It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas.
It's actually got a really sort of cinematic feel.
It has, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's good.
It conjures up the Jimmy Stewart movie. What's that called? What's the big movie of Christmas?
I don't know. I told you I'm not a movie person.
Okay, people will be shouting at the screen telling you what the name of that movie is.
Yes, they will. They'll be so frustrated.
Oh no. Okay.
I only really know what's on Netflix.
You do have favourite Christmas movies, though, don't you? Elf, for example. We like Elf, don't we?
Yeah, but
maybe I like Elf. Then.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I do like Elf. It's good. I mean, the ones I know, just like kids ones, really. Now you're confusing people. So poor old Darren saying you guys are swapped over, and it feels like Ant and Dec are standing in the wrong order.
It's so we can look at each other. Look, this will be a barometer. This will be a barometer. When we're not getting on, it's going to be like this. And when we are getting on, it'll be like this. So you'll know what's going on in our relationship at any time, depending on where we are on the screen. Okay, and that's what Ant and Dec should do as well when they're suffering with their issues that they sometimes have. Maybe they could swap round so people could give them extra love when that's happening. Okay, dad jokes for you then, Mrs. M. Let's see. Do you want to take the challenge full on?
Go on, I'm up for it. Totally up for it.
All right, we have private chat. Bon dia alegria. It's Tony time. It's nearly Tony time.
Tony's limbering up.
The man in the Minho.
He's looking amazing.
He's
looking
very good. Just celebrated a birthday. Yes.
Really, another Sagittarius.
Okay. Yeah, of course, it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do this as a challenge?
No, I want you to read those.
You can't see them anyway, can you?
Both in green shirts. What's that about? We look like
it's synergy. It's called synergy.
Go on then.
Okay.
Give us.
If 666 is all evil, then 25.8 is the root of all evil. More math for you there. You don't get it, do you?
No.
Square root of 666 would be 25.8.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to laugh now?
No.
Not really.
No.
My wife says I have 2 major faults. Oh, this is a bit too close for comfort, T-Duck. I don't like that one.
Read it out.
Okay. My wife says I have 2 major faults. I don't listen and
you do that kind of thing all the time. You do that kind of thing actually during the day.
What do you mean?
You know.
Well, don't listen.
Yeah, like I'll be saying, "Oh, you're not listening to me." You go, "Sorry, what was that?"
But I am honest and authentic and transparent, and I will say you're right. I'm not. I stopped about 20 minutes ago. Can we rewind, please? That's honest, isn't it?
Yeah, and you are actually that honest.
Okay. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a a good thing.
But you would like to be listened to in the first place, I guess.
The illusion of it would be nice.
It's not much to ask, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Us swapping around like this will stop us going deaf in one or other of the years as well, won't it? As sometimes happens with couples.
Yeah. They kind of like fade out the annoying other half.
Yes.
Okay, go on. Next one.
Now, this is a gardening dad joke, and we will be having a gardening
Very
quiz.
good. I've read ahead. It's good.
Okay, you can see that. So
Yeah.
that size type works for you.
Oh.
If you cross what?
It does. Yeah.
Across, if you cross a 4-leaf clover. So if I need to write anything, I don't want you to see it. Just needs to be a little bit smaller than that.
Yeah.
So there'll be just blurs on the screen. Okay.
Well, you just have me like that. Like really peering into the screen.
If you cross a 4-leaf clover with poison ivy, you'll get a rash of good luck.
Yes, that's very good.
That is good, isn't it?
That is good.
Yeah.
Good.
And we will have a Christmas quiz, not next Monday, but the Monday after. John, Anna, and Lee are working on. Do you
remember that famous quiz back from Devon
in Hannah's days?
Yeah, with the
with our dyslexic quiz master.
Yeah.
Now, what do Polish people have for Christmas Day? Is it A, turkey? This is what happened on that day. Is it A, turkey? What do Polish people have on Christmas Day? A, turkey. B, beef Wellington. C, something else. A pork joint or a vegan roast. Or D, crap. And everyone's looking at each other. Crap. That's Dean. God bless you, Dean. Dean's got a bit of dyslexia. It's carp. Polish people have carp on Christmas Day, don't they? Fantastic. That caused
a bit of a snicker.
Shout out to you, Dean.
Yeah.
Smash that like button if you don't mind. And it's risen a few degrees from -2 in Belfast overnight, with a cold 10 days ahead. That's why you got to get over here, Digger. When's your next trip to Portugal, I wonder? Lisbon lights turned on, looked lovely. Oh. Have we got a video, anybody?
That would be amazing.
Wouldn't it just? Hola, Luisa. You get all these greetings when you're on the screen. I don't. Not bitter at all, though. Hola, Luisa and Carl from the OLP. You're busy. We're going to do the Portuguese wine quiz again, because I think Antonio would like that this morning. A few of those questions this morning. OLP, you are at a big advantage with that. I didn't imagine.
Because wasn't OLP?
Up late last night, drinking with us last night, and back again this morning. So anyone who was with us for the GMP Wine Club last night.
Yeah, I noticed there's not that many from yesterday. It's just the OLP at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah. And how are the? My mouse is frozen up. You might need to do that comment. How are the waves in Nazaré? Is what Nazaré.
My one has
that's weird, wasn't it? How are the waves in Nazaré? We can see them pretty much if we go up to the cliffs. I don't think they're the biggest that they've been at the moment, but the full moon's coming up, Mrs. M. Quick astrological
on the 8th, and it's a pretty choppy one.
Right. Astrologically or
astrologically, it's
in every sense.
Yeah. I wouldn't I know it's the time of going out boozing and stuff. I would probably avoid going out boozing with people that you're not completely at ease with on the 8th.
Oh, that sounds ominous. And maybe put a sign around
it's really edgy. It's really it's like this, like putting up your fists.
Put them up.
Yeah.
Okay. And
it's really quite choppy. So I'd just be a bit wary of it.
And it's a full moon in
Gemini.
Okay, so maybe have a piece of paper in your top pocket with your address on it in case somebody does need to put you in a taxi.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea.
You're welcome, everybody. Bon dia, todos. Happy Tuesday. Hope all are well. Carl and Mrs. M from France this morning. And Bob's here as well. Bon dia, all good to be here. Oh, bon dia, all good to be here at the car shop again. Gets me going early, though. Heard about you getting going early, Bob. Leave her alone for a bit of peace for a moment. Barometer with the people coming in and out of the doors, at least in my grandparents' unit. See, Bob does know about the people, and we can do that. Look at how she's looking at me. You do look like you're from an 80s video. I think Tony would agree with me. Down, 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 down. Greetings from the Algarve. That wine looked good last night, and it was very good. It was Alentejo, not Algarve wine, though. REALTORS and Carl Louisa. Have you any decorations up yet for Christmas? Oh, Deagle, don't you start.
Well, we got them out. We got some of them out. We need to throw a child into the top of our garage today to
it's
bring back our
going
Christmas
up a Christmas
boxes.
tree, up a chimney, isn't it? Yeah.
We just need to get our boxes down. I bought some recently, and so Minnie and I were putting them up. We also need to go and get some blue tack today or white tack.
Yes,
so it's like non-stop, isn't it?
Me, aren't there?
But yeah, they're going to be going up in the next couple of days.
All
I mean, to be fair, I when did Christmas start on the 1st of December in homes?
It starts on the 1st of November after Halloween in the supermarket.
Did I just grow up in a household that was like really bar humbug. I mean, our tradition at home was the decorations went up at the 15th at the very earliest. So it's a real culture shock for me to, you know, like I had people, some of my clients sending me pictures of their tree at the end of November.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful, really, really beautiful. Obviously, people have spent a lot of time doing their decorations.
Deagles.
Yeah, I just wonder if I'm a bit bar humbug, but I probably am. But they're going to go up because the kids have realised that it's the time for it.
This is a Christmas tree. It's amazing. This lovely Christmas tree. Tony will be with you in just a minute because we've got a question for you. Do you say realtor or realtor? It's a perfect question for Tony in just a moment. But let me just bring up this. Is this what you mean? And when people do this early on in December as well, it puts added pressure on. And now Deagle's asking me himself, have I started putting up the Christmas, or he asking you that? Have you put up the Christmas decorations? Look at that beauty.
I can't see it.
What, on the screen?
No, there's a delay.
Why?
Oh, I can see it. This lovely.
It's touching the ceiling and everything, isn't it? That's fantastic. So Deagle,
yeah, nice.
Stop
nice
it.
One.
We'll have our own pictures.
We'll send you pictures when we've done them. Our trees are never very they're not like beautiful in a classical way. You know, they would never win any store awards. They've always got homemade things on, maybe bits of popcorn.
Yeah, they're just waiting for a cat to pull it over as well. It's that kind of vibe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, very, very much so.
Let's bring him on. The finger is going up to hit the applause button, and here it is. Let's bring onto the screen this morning. Where should we put him? Good morning to you, Antonio Barbosa, Man in the Minho.
He looks wonderful. I think you should have him up with you.
Okay, let's do that.
You've both got names as well, and I don't have a name, so.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, okay. But you look great. You look great. I can't hear you, Tony.
Oh, bon dia. Can you hear me now?
Well, it's because we haven't stopped talking, isn't it, basically? So good morning to you. How are you? Tudo bem?
Bon dia, alegria. Hello, guys. Mrs. M, Louisa, Carl, and everyone listening. Happy Tuesday, and happy to be here.
Have you got your decks up yet? What's up in the Minho? Like, have people got their if people got their decorations up? Is there?
Yeah, what's beautiful is the little villages. Every single little village is lit up, so it definitely looks beautiful. And it looks like an outdoor little festival going on. You know, people getting ready and stuff. Me personally, nah. You know, I bah humbug.
Oh, really?
You're good like me then.
You take that view, do you, Tony?
What? No. Now, you know, since my mom and dad left, really Christmas, you know, is with my friends, right? And so I celebrated at their house. And so for me, that's a good thing, though, because I don't have to clean anything up. Because you got to put it up, then you got to take it down, and then
you do.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I do notice that it's lots of people don't take their Christmas decorations down until April. There was a park nearby to where we live.
They never took their decorations down, did they?
Their decorations up all year round. You know, I've noticed in Portugal, like in England, people are quite, I think, superstitious about it. And by the 6th of Jan, they're down. But I've noticed in Portugal, people have them up way beyond.
Yeah.
It's like an afterthought. Is that normal?
I love the mistletoe. That I would love. You know,
I've heard, Tony. I've heard you carry a bit around with you. Is that true?
I carry it in my pocket everywhere I go. That's
fair play.
Good for you.
Good for you.
And you've celebrated a birthday recently, so you've got a nice sequence towards Christmas, haven't you? You've got Halloween, then you've got your birthday, then you've got Christmas. Quite nicely spaced out by the sound.
And Thanksgiving in between. And Thanksgiving in between
as well. It's all partying. That's right. And as you say, don't invite me to work. Invite me to lunch or invite me to dinner.
Yeah.
Don't invite me to work.
Yeah, you've been doing a bit of that just recently. Then, how was your birthday?
It was great. It was yesterday, so still celebrating.
Still celebrating.
Oh, wow.
May I ask, did you have a special feast? Because you and I have a shared joy when it comes to the food and wine of Portugal. Did you? What special treat did you bestow upon yourself yesterday?
Well, I had two special treats. Well, actually three. But the other one was in the morning with a friend of mine that just surprised me with a little cake and stuff. So and coffee, which is very, very nice, you know. So and then for lunch, I actually met up with some friends, some clients, they were in from Hawaii. Okay, so we went out to a nice lunch. They didn't know it was my birthday, and I invited a friend as well. So it was him and his wife, and so the four of us, and we had a delicious bacalhau meal. You know, the codfish bacalhau and
Yeah.
octopus, exquisite Alvarinho wine, of course. You know,
Of
Vinho
course.
Verde, right?
Yes.
Of course. And it was beautiful, and then even dessert and stuff. So and then just discovering the Minho. So that's what it's about. And then at nighttime, then I went over to Spain. That's what I love about living up here in the north. You could easily just
That's
go over
fantastic.
any. It is, and so I had the I love the tapas culture that they have. So we had a nice tapa of pata negra. That's the jamon, delicious ham, right? That's just one of a kind. It's only the Spanish know how to make. And I had a little tapa of that, and also a tortilla, potato tortilla, and a red wine that's in some pimientos and some olives. Delicious. That was my nightcap.
Now. That sounds fantastic.
It sounds awesome.
That's the way to celebrate your birthday. Go to Spain
and
for
maybe
the evening.
like what tips could you give Carl for my birthday coming up, because it's so close to Christmas?
I see what you did.
I think holiday in the Caribbean or maybe in the Minho.
Oh, Tony. Okay, let's get rid of him. Okay, that's enough of that. Holiday in the Caribbean.
It's about the same. The Caribbean and the Minho, it's the same thing. You'll just I think you're a Sagittarian as well, right, Louise?
Yeah, I'm right at the end of it. I'm on the 20th.
Then you probably where? Madeira, and you could spend the New Year's Eve celebrations there.
That sounds fantastic. Oh,
Madeira. Forget about the Caribbean. You have the tropics.
We've actually got
the tropics.
Yes.
So we can't do it this year, but maybe next year.
Madeira does sound good, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Paradise, isn't it? Absolutely right, Tony. That is.
I do fancy a bit of paradise.
Yeah. Were you just saying that's the Portugal's tropics, really?
Madeira, yeah. Madeira is the tropics. It's a beautiful year-round climate. One of the best climates, probably of Portugal, because it's so. You have highs of like middle 20s, 29, 30 degrees, and the lows, even in the wintertime, in like 19, 20 degrees. So that's tropic, right? Bananas grow there all year round. So it's got to be warm.
I was just looking at the weather there this morning. I'll have a quick look and come back to you on that. But yeah, that sounds wonderful. Must go to Madeira. Must go to the Azores as well at some point.
The Azores just won recently. Portugal just won recently at the World Travel Awards. That's like the Oscars of global tourism, right? And Portugal won almost 30 awards throughout Portugal, hotels, airlines, everything. One of the ones in every single year, the Azore Islands, they win the best nature tourism island in Europe. Porto beat out. It's the best, not Europe, world city to visit. Porto. It beat out
really?
cities like Miami. Beat out cities like Miami, Dubai, Paris, Las Vegas. There was a list of 10 other cities. Porto is the best city in the world to visit.
Porto. That's great. Well done, Porto.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I said to you the other day.
Do you know I still haven't been there?
And I've only been to the IKEA.
You go to Porto for
That's
a
terrible.
bit of
I have been.
Should have a look at the Christmas lights or something.
I have been to Porto.
You can go and visit our friends. We've got loads of friends up there.
We've got to do it, haven't we? And then actually we might as well stay on the road and head up to the Minho as well.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
quite fancy a Spanish birthday. That sounds great.
Thank you for all those.
And we're not the only Sagittarians, you and I.
Oh,
We've got lovely solo 50+ adventures, which is our good friend Louise. She just had her birthday. Happy birthday, Louise. Sorry I didn't message you. Sorry, I shouldn't giggle. I just forgot.
I forgot your birthday.
No, it's not like that. I'm just like, if I'd known it was your birthday, I just think like if we were on, like if you're on Facebook, I'd have seen it a mile off.
Yes.
So forgive me.
Just come over. I think you're in the area, Louise. Come over and celebrate your birthday with us, please.
Well, she's saying she's looking forward to going back up north.
Okay.
And having Georges show me around.
Who is this Georges then who's showing you around? Not Vitor and not Tony. Our men in the north there. Interesting. And thanks, Antonio and Louis. Oh, thanks, Antonio Louise. So maybe you know each other as well. That's excellent. Going back to this question, Tony. Not all Americans say realtors. Many do say realtors. What have you heard in your experience working in the industry?
Well, it's pronounced real tour. Okay, and the meaning
Realtor.
real tour, and the excuse me, the definition. It's someone who solves problems you never existed in ways that will blow your mind. Real tour. And also, you could see, and if you look in the dictionary and you see a badass miracle worker, you'll see my picture. Real tour.
I like that. Badass miracle worker.
Yeah.
But realtor is really how it should
Realtor.
be pronounced.
And it is realtor is it's a brand, and you have to be it's part
Is it?
of the it's a brand, it's a registered trademark of the National Association of Realtors. So you have to be a member in order to say you are a realtor, a badass miracle worker. You got to be a member of the National Association of Realtors, and because otherwise you're not. It's a branded trademark, and it really based upon ethics, which is missing here in Portugal with real estate. Anybody, I always say that, real estate agents, there's too many of them. We don't need them. We need ambassadors here for Portugal. In our team,
Yeah, well
I
said.
tell that we don't, I think we need ambassadors. We need people to show Portugal, to be really proud and love Portugal. We don't need estate agents, but a realtor is someone that is a member of the National Association of Realtors, where I'm a proud member. And definitely we guide ourselves through a high level of ethics and professionalism, especially ethics. Okay.
Wow.
Because we work with a lot of clients and referrals from other colleagues. And so we depend on one another. There are certain designations within the National Association of Realtor, like a CIPS, Certified International Property Specialist, ABR, Accredited Buyer Representative, CRS, which that's one difficult after many years. You're a certified council residential specialist, right? Which is, and so there's a different, even a green. There's so many designations. So then you take out continued education about it and learning. So it's just to add value. So, like I said, a badass miracle worker, real
That's
tour.
superb.
That's amazing.
Yeah, who doesn't like a proud member first thing in the morning as well, Tony?
I was going to say, it sounds a bit like, magicians, they have a code of ethics, don't they? They
do.
join their magic circle. And I was about to.
Well, it's not a million miles away. I think Tony and
because like you were saying, miracle worker, I was thinking, it's kind of magical.
Yes, and solving problems you didn't know you had,
love that.
anticipating things. That's a really skilled a realtor, real estate agent, isn't it? Who can foresee things that will save you a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
That's the skill, isn't it? And I think you're right, Tony. Absolutely right. And this is for sure what you're doing here. The joke about Portugal, of course, is that there are 10 million real estate agents, right? Because everyone knows everyone's got a property for sale, haven't they, in the family or a friend of a friend. And we perhaps
the minute you step off into the airport and the taxi guy, he's going to show you. It's I think it's culture. He's gonna show you, here. Do you want to buy a house? Do you want to buy a house?
And he's Ukrainian. I mean, it's 10 million Portuguese people, and now lots of new immigrants coming in selling houses as well. So yeah, that is what's going on, and you're one of a few exceptions, I think, who are really changing the game here in Portugal.
Well, we're trying, Carl. We're trying to get it. If the wheel has already been invented, keep this in mind. Real estate is something that I tell people this all the time. Anybody could sell a house. You know what a real estate professional has to do? Truthfully, you know what he has to do? He has to just be there and open the damn door and just shut up. You don't have to say much. Just open. Let me see the house and open the door. Okay. What you do behind before that happens, that's where that magic begins, because it's getting people from where they are to where they need to go, and you be around them. They're going to need you. They're friends. There's no clients. We don't have clients. We have friends. And that's what it is. When people, they depend on this, right? Because they need to get from here to there. Not even international. I mean, even in Portugal, people are moving, etc. You need those professionals. You need to do market of comparative analysis. You need to do data analysis. How much are you paying for the house? Are you paying the right value? Making an offer, etc. Going through the banks. There's a lot of process, right? And that's what a professional does. No, getting a home inspection. I tell everybody here, anybody listening here, don't ever buy a house without getting a home inspection. It's simple, and it's not buyer beware, but you got to have a buyer representative. You know, when you're working with the seller and you're representing a seller, there's a certain things you have to do, a checklist. When you're working with the buyer, just the simple things there, you know, like there's a lot of them, and you don't skip one of them, because if you do, that's why we don't never have any trouble, because we sleep good at night, because we follow, there's a list, and do this. And we recommend, if people take our advice, and that's what they should be doing. If they don't, then shame on them, because then they say, you know, I'm out of this. You know, you're buying the house without getting a home inspection. Are you crazy? It's not buyer beware. Oh no, you know.
You don't often hear that though, do you? But you'll more often hear in Portugal, you don't need a report. Look, it looks fine. Okay, do you think it's okay?
Yeah, there's no humidity. Yeah, you know, the roof isn't coming down.
There's no humidity.
You know.
Oh, look at this. This is lovely. So you've been talking with Louise already. Anthony gave me George Curto's details. It sounds like we should all know him. He hikes and knows the Jerez.
Oh, George. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he's actually he's a one of our ambassador. Hi, Louise. I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know that we connected here. And George is another ambassador, right? Because he knows. You know, I always say our team members. We have people throughout Portugal, the north. He's in the north, in the Minho area, right, closer to me. In the Porto, in the Douro Valley, in Lisbon, in the Silver Coast, in the Algarve, Alentejo. We have ambassadors, and that's what we need. We need people, as when they're meeting with someone like Louise and or anyone else, it's like showing they need to know, because that's the most important decision, Carl and Louise. I think people have to see it's where the weather, climate, lifestyle, and location. Those are three things that you need to know first. So in majority of the cases, I'll tell you, never buy a property, rent for 6 months or a year until you figure out your bearings and, you know, and your neighbors, you know, and stuff like that. And so there, unless you've been here dozens and dozens of times, but you need to have, even if it's like 2 or 3 days, a guide, somebody to show you around. And
that is what you're doing, right, Tony? You've got a trade mission coming up, which is so thoughtful and so brilliantly planned. Let's talk more about that in a minute. But we've got lots of greetings to catch up on this morning. We're going back to some of the. If some of these things seem a little lacking in context, Tony, forgive us, because they are. I like you, as you'll find out in the next comment. I like to be who I am, where I am. It was years learning that, and I'm hoping that kids get this sooner. The millennials actually are authentic and human beings can learn to be who they really are sooner in life. How lovely would that be? Seen everything now. Flooding in the Algarve, and Munson wearing his wife's bra. You see, that's what I'm talking about with context. I can explain that, but I'm not going to. Brian Taylor's here. Bon dia, Gumpers. Good morning to you, Brian and Storm. Loving your interchange this morning, you two. Not talking about the clothes either. Pete, bon dia, alegria. Sore arms this morning after our 5th jab. According to someone here, we have more chips in us than a Happy Meal. Well, hey, be careful going near those 5G towers, please, Pete and Diane. You guys have swapped over. Oh, yes, that's our Ant and Deck moment this morning. I remember working with a girl called Melanie by name and Melanie by nature. Was her family name Frontage? Melanie Frontage.
Do you know what? I used to work with this guy called oh God!
I won't tell you about Neil's colleague and what happened there. Neil Perkins told us about his colleague and what used to happen when he was panel beating. Anyway, it's so far too inappropriate. Tune into the next Good Morning Portugal Wine Club for that. You used to work with?
Oh, I used to work with a guy called Matt Fellon in a hotel.
Fellon?
Yeah.
But that's not a good name to have in America,
no,
is it, Tony?
Well, no, he was in the UK. And you know those like little boards, you know, where it says today the deputy manager is this person, blah blah blah, and you had these little
it's stick on letters.
And so we used to change it to Fat Melon.
Did you?
Yeah.
And now he knows that. Who did it?
Yeah, don't give a shit.
Okay.
I don't care.
If I would never have tired of saying to him, "You are a known felon."
Yeah.
Yes,
I thought Fat Melon was more fun.
Those two things would have just made his life a misery. Can't wait to start finding all those birds, says James as well. So I think there's good news here for a bit of twitching and ornithology. Flocks of hoopos here, but we really love the predators here. So many eagles and vultures that swoop in. Not to mention the bee eaters and chaffinch that nest by the house. How lovely. And the storks, of course, best of all, is having our own
it's lovely
private
seeing storks here because we just don't see them in the UK.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Big Bird or Rua Sasamo is a big pooper named Pooper, which makes us giggle as well. Now we've got some great news, Tony. We had friends. I don't know if you're working with people at the moment who've just had their visas approved. There seems to be a real, it's as though CEF have been like processing a lot of American visas in the last week or so, and there's been great news. So, Desert Dweller, we are so pleased for you. I was wanting to say this morning that you'd got yours, and I didn't have your permission, but here you are, outing yourself as having your D7 approved. John and Pam, the same. Happy holidays to all. Hoping to get over there by middle of January.
Fantastic.
What great news.
That's really amazing.
Yeah, fantastic. And you are still in New Mexico, you say. Going back to sleep soon. I like the music and holiday cheer. Yeah. And of course, that movie is A Wonderful Life. And I couldn't remember it because there's no Christmas mention in there, is there? Or you could just turn your head the opposite direction. Oh, this is us and our screen situation, which is now very different with Tony. Hello, I am listening. Movie It's a Wonderful Life starring James Stewart and Donna Reed. Do you know, I've never watched it from start to finish and really enjoyed that. And I know it's a lot of people a very favorite movie. So
I did actually watch it once.
Yeah.
I was during my phase of doing internet dating. I went on a really awful date. Well, you know, I absolutely messed it up at the end as well. I mean, you know, we'd gone out for dinner.
We want to know more, don't we, Tony?
We'd gone out for dinner, and this guy had said, "I really want to, you know, watch this movie with you.
I see. Right, okay.
I'd love to watch this movie with you."
Yeah.
And he was watching it and crying and getting really emotional
on the first
about
date.
it. Yeah, and no, I think the second. And
okay.
I was just kind of like slightly shocked, and I just didn't get it. I just didn't feel it. And the great thing was,
you thought you were a cold-hearted so-and-so.
He did,
yeah.
And I mean, it was great because I was just thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna wrap this up anyway. But he wrapped it up for me, so it's great. Fantastic.
Oh, I'm
much
slightly
easier.
sad to hear that.
No, he just thought I was a cold-hearted cow, and fair enough. I mean, but like, you know, like not being forced, but kind of getting somebody to watch a movie just to see if they're emotional.
The signs were there, weren't they? That was not going to be the best.
It's a bit psychopathic, I think.
And don't get me wrong, I've got no problem with men crying. I often cry.
And I've got no problem to crying with movies. But
that was
like,
a bold move. There was a bold move to say we need to watch this movie on a second day.
Exactly.
And then to be crying during that. That is a high-risk strategy in the dating scene, I would say. But if that person is watching, you know.
I don't think he will be.
You say enigmatically.
I don't think he will be.
Right, okay. Well, I'd like to say welcome people on LinkedIn, Twitter, and since we've upgraded with StreamYard, we're going out to many other platforms. So who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Do you know what? I don't even remember his name anymore. It's that long ago. So
wow. All right, heady times. Olaj, we just call him Wonderful Life Guy.
Yes, Wonderful Life Guy.
Cry, wonderful.
Cry baby, Wonderful Life Guy.
Yes, hope you're doing okay.
Yeah.
And you went on to find
no hard feelings.
Okay, I was correcting my spelling for James Stewart. Happy to greet you this morning, Mrs. M. A famous quote. That dad joke was so funny, I forgot to laugh.
Yes, that was
treating
exactly
the
how
dad
I
jokes
felt.
with the contempt they deserve.
Yes.
There is our advent calendar. Please send in your videos to 913-590-303, and they will be a window on our advent calendar. Several pines. I
can't remember what that refers to.
I don't know why she's got so many pines on the screen. Hola, bon dia, Capricorn 12 is in the house. Hey, Chris, how are you doing this morning? Loving that hair.
Oh, okay.
Chris likes the hair. You're not a fan, are you?
No, I have my hair cut every sort of 18 months or so, and you know, I just like have a load lopped off and then grow it long again. Yes. I went a bit shorter than usual, and it's just not feeling like me at the minute. But
well, we like it. We like it. Tony, is this true? Christmas in the US starts at Costco in October, having lived in United States.
Or Walmart.
Or Walmart, okay.
Or Woolies in the UK.
Yes.
Do they still have Woolworths? I don't know.
I think one or two Woolies may have made a comeback. I live in a Christmas tree capital of the Pacific Northwest, says OLP. So many Christmas tree farms there. How lovely. Bob and Viv, we are so surprised that candy canes are all around in decorations, but we looked all over Pont Lima and Viana de Cristina last Friday. Is it an American US thing only? Tony, first question for you. Where can Bob and Viv get a candy cane?
Yeah, I think so. Here, no, it is because of the 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 children and that. But even hanging it up, but I haven't seen it. It's not a culture here for sure. It's
Okay,
definitely
so
an American thing.
and they can forget it trying to get a peppermint candy cane. That's very niche, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
But a little opportunity for an entrepreneur there. Maybe a little bit late this year. Okay, I'm going to change my name to Island Dweller, says Desert Dweller. And looking forward to the tour with Jorge Aranda Gerês. That's great. Wow, the Portuguese keep it so low key. They should be shouting that from the treetops. What was this? Which were we talking about there? I wonder.
I think winning awards
Oh
for
yeah,
being so great.
but it is. I mean, in a way, Tony, you were talking about the tourism Oscars. Portugal, in a way, has a regular a season ticket to get to the awards because, and we shouldn't be sort of dismissive about it, but it does get a bit boring, doesn't it? Winning so many awards all the time for Portugal.
Gets boring, right?
So old.
I feel that it's been over the last decades, what Portugal has done to do for its infrastructures and tourism. And for me, I think there's one thing missing here in Portugal, okay, which we have already, but it is being developed. We have in the south sort of your luxury tourism. Why do people need to go to Fiji Islands or this or that? They spend 20 or 30,000 euros a night in a hotel room, right? So if we can get that down to yeah, I mean, if you go to certain hotels and they're like mega expensive, we can have that here too. So we have to stand out in the brand, not tourism for the masses, but even for the tourism for, hey, it's not and some people have this argument about it, but we need that for Portugal. We can't just be for everybody. You have to be selective, and there is for everybody already, but we need to go a little further up, and that's why even some of these awards of the hotels and areas that have been developed, like we have in Portugal in the south, Quinta do Lago and Val do Lobo, right? That's like the echelon for golfing, for tourists, and
We were there.
etc.
Yeah.
Very exclusive, very expensive, and we need that. There's an area in Portugal called the Comporta, in between Lisbon and the Algarve, okay, in that region, in the Alentejo, which is spectacular. You have guys, the red shoe guy, for example, Christian Lobatin, right? You have the red shoe guy. He has a home there in Malides. He's building a beautiful hotel there as well, very exclusive. So you need that kind of tourism for Portugal, and those are the awards when you talk about the hospitality, when you talk about the travel. That's what people want, And why do you need to go halfway across the world if you're here in the UK or you're in the US? You could be here in less than 8 hours, right? And so why do you need to go all the way around the world? You can go to the Azores. The Azores, okay, to give you an idea, and I know this because I've been to both countries. For me, it's a cross between the Hawaiian Islands and Ireland. Okay, imagine that.
Wow.
Okay? It's that beautiful. The most beautiful places in the world that I visited, one of them is without a doubt the Hawaiian Islands, Maui, for example. Anybody that knows and listening can know the road to Hana. It's one of the most beautiful places. In the Azores, you have that. You have also there's a few other places in Brazil and everything. But if you go to the Azores and you see the natural beauty, it's volcanic island. It's something out of this world. So I'm not surprised year after year it's boring, getting that award of the best nature destination. One more time.
Yeah.
Bless them.
Book another ticket to go and receive that award. Sorry, Portugal can't be here tonight to receive their award. They're at another award ceremony getting an award. But they've sent along Spain to receive the award on their behalf. Wouldn't that be brilliant? We can't go. So we're sending Spain to receive the award for us. We're too busy. Oh, that's such good news. And tell us a bit about your trade mission then, Tony, because you are taking it to another level, how you approach real estate, being a realtor, and the scene here in Portugal. And it's so impressive what you're lining up for. And this is aimed at American professionals in the real estate business. Give us a taste of what they will experience when they come here to Portugal with you.
Well, okay. When we decided to start doing these events, okay, it's part of our business philosophy and growth in business. And I look at it like real estate and tourism is so compatible, and people want to know the country. They're not going to live under a bridge. We'll find them a house, so that's not an issue. But people need to discover the country first. And so we organize 3 events a year. Where this one we're doing in March starts. It's the north Porto, 2 days, right? 2 nights. So it's a total of 8 days and 7 nights. You spend 2 nights in Porto, and also discovering the real estate opportunities. But I don't focus it primarily on the real estate. We'll do some real estate developments, walking around the city, looking at properties, etc. But it's mostly about to feel the gastronomy, the people, the culture, everything. So even taking a train ride into the Douro Valley, okay, and then going on a boat ride for about an hour, going to the wine tastings there. These are places that I know, I've visited, I've tried it, I've sampled. This is the best of the best, and affordable, because that's what if somebody, and then staying as a group. And yes, it is mostly it's at realtors that are looking to invest here. Okay, for them to get to know the country, because knowing the buying process. We also have clients, hey, because then we have our trusted lawyer at the event, our trusted loan broker, our trusted currency. There's a lot of information, so the buying process A to Z. Okay, if you're thinking of moving, but you have to. I think one of the most important things first, anybody thinking of moving here, is definitely where. And because of the climate. So that's what we try to do. The first here in March is we're doing Porto and the Minho and Spain. So we're going right over to Spain and spending 5 nights. Carl, a hotel in Porto is a great. They're all 4-star hotels. Everything's included. All the wine you could drink, all the food. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In some of the, if anyone knows, in Porto,
Yes.
in Villanova de Gaia, there's one of the most exquisite restaurants to ever go to. I love to go, and anybody would go. It's called Uva, UVA. It's great.
Great. Yeah.
It's a Kalem restaurant, okay, right on the water. We have lunch there, and exquisite places. And the hotel is fabulously located, in the center. We walk around the city. It's great. But in the Minho, we're staying at this. I got to say, but again, it's all about negotiations and the timings and everything. And we have this palatial home. It's just for us. They do venues there for weddings and meetings and events and stuff. But I got it just for us. So we're going to be spending 5 beautiful nights there. Again, and all. I won't tell all about it, but we're going to see the whole Minho. We're going to be in even the city hall. The mayors receive us in the city hall. Okay. Yeah. So, and then looking at real estate as well. But again, all the food going into Spain, looking around Bayona, if anybody knows the north, there's not too much difference between like the Galician in Galicia and Spain and the north of Portugal and Minho. It's very, very, there's a very small micro economy here that survives. A lot of Spanish come to Portugal, the Portuguese go to Spain. And so there's a lot of interchange, right? And the scenery is about the same. So, of course, here going to we're going to visit the Palácio de Brujueira. Do you know what that is, Louisa and Carl? It's a beautiful. It's a replica of the national building in the Palácio Nacional de Sintra, the National Palace of Sintra. Okay, it's a replica. Okay, it's a beautiful palace. It's a beautiful palace here in Monção, and that's where the birthplace, Monção Melgaço. That's where the birthplace of Alvarinho. So if you like, this is the whole, and then we're going to do the wine tasting. So we visit the wine, that beautiful palace, and we visit the estate, the wine farm, the wine cellars, have a taste of it, of course.
Yes.
And there's then Braga, Guimarães, Ponte de Lima, Viana do Castelo, Cerveira, all the towns of the Minho. We're going to discover them, and that's what it is. And you were together. It's a group of maximum 15 people, because just logistics, so you have this big comfortable bus to get around, and everything's included. All you need to do is get an airplane ticket to get here. And then we do other parts of Portugal. Then we do the south, and in October we do Lisbon and the Algarve as well. Definitely, that was that we did. Yeah, you could see how but even that was 2 years ago that we did the trade mission in 2021.
You've been doing this for a while.
And this is with realtors or
realtors
actually
and clients, people that have come because they're thinking,
friends.
even realtors that are thinking of moving here, so they themselves want to look and explore the area, and also because of realtors, where we work out referral partnerships. Again, we don't have clients that walk in the doors, right? So we have a lot of referrals, and they get to know Portugal. So we establish a protocol with them.
You must be making, like this is a really great opportunity for people to make really good friends, isn't it? You know, like those like retreats you go to, or when you go on some kind of, I don't know, getaway, and you're sort of like in a very sort of intimate space and situation with people. I love that idea. I think it's great. It must be really life transforming for people.
And people will be pretending to be real estate agents to come on this, won't they? So you have to. I imagine you have to prove your credentials to be included in this. People
it is great because it's what Louise said. It's the opportunity. We stay friends, as a group, right? Then then I create like a WhatsApp group for them, and they're still in touch long after, and they're from all parts of the world, right? But they still keep in touch. And because it's really intimate, we're there together the whole time together. We're doing everything in the bus. Sometimes, I'll sit one day next to this person and that person. So we have a small little each ones, and but nothing. Everyone will kind of like it's just great. We're all having lunch together. We're all having dinner together. We all have breakfast together. Yeah. It's like, wow, 1 week, and I get it well. I mean, I'm a good source of just getting people together. I think that's one of my gifts. For sure. And running the show, right? Running it with a high level of not only professionalism, and people that come to our trade missions, they feel my passion. I don't know, maybe it shows a little bit. And so they want
that sounds like a bit of a euphemism. So.
Feel my passion.
Feel my passion.
Yes, feel my passion.
And they let us show them Portugal.
May you excuse me, because I've got to get prepared. Yeah.
Okay.
Not to feel your passion, but I've got some things I need to attend to right now. But it's been an absolute delight to see you today, and I don't know if we're going to get up and see you before Christmas, but if not, I'll look forward to seeing you again in the new year. But I've got a skedaddle.
Okay, Mrs.
Lots of love to
thank you very much indeed.
Hi, Louisa.
So, Tony, are you okay to stick around for a bit longer? Maybe have a little go at this wine quiz as well, because I think you might know a few of the answers here. Are you happy with that? Thank you very much, Mrs. M. Oh, actually, we've got to do something here. Mrs. M, I just took you off the screen, but you need to hear this, even though you might not see it now. Okay. Camille is here. Belle is turning 11 on the 7th of December. Can you believe it? So happy birthday, Belle. Tomorrow. My goodness. And so lovely to see you, Camille. We used to work together, didn't we, on the Barefoot broadcast years ago.
I've just popped back on just to say hello. Camille, oh my goodness, it's been so long. And
how lovely to see you.
Wow. I remember, because like you had Belle just after we had Digby.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Wowzers. Thank you for joining us. Right, I am going to go now, though. But...
Yeah, lots of love to you and Belle, Camille. And Louise also forgives you. She doesn't tell anyone about her birthday, so you're okay. Bon dia from Baddy this morning. Good morning, happy birthdays, and Merry Christmases to all of you. So there's some belated birthday best for you as well there, Tony. Send a last year's pick or two of Christmas in WhatsApp. I've got one of those OLP, because it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas here on the Good Morning Portugal show. Do please send in your Christmas videos. There's OLPs. That's very nicely done. Plenty of lights on there, and this is the slug boat, Santa Cruz boat lights in Santa Cruz there. So that looks pretty tasty too, doesn't it? Very beautiful, I'm sure, in the harbour there of Santa Cruz. Thank you very much for that, James, this morning. Okay, any questions for Tony? Because I've got questions for Tony. They are wine-related questions. Oh, yeah, that was a picture of the boat parade in Santa Cruz, where Tony's probably been, extensively travelled to the United States, of course, and that's another one of your great assets and features and benefits, Tony, is that you've spent a lot of time in the United States, and, of course, you have the Portuguese connection as well, which I think it gives you a great insight into how to sell property here. Had a very productive day yesterday, says by Randy. Christmas shopping in a very festive Aveiro. Maybe you took a video for us there, Andy. Maybe you didn't. Anyone have a good method to change your address on your residence card? I guess you got to speak directly to Seth about that, haven't you, Tony?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Or the Loja de Cidadão, the citizen shop.
Go to the citizen shop. Maybe you haven't thought to do that. Yes, a Loja de Cidadão in that. Yeah, thank you for that, Tony. Only way. Morning to you, Antonio F. Only way I know is by going to a SEF office. There you go. But it needs to be in accordance with your record at the finances as well. Thank you for your help. It's a wonderful life, Bob and Viv says. say it's all about a movie showing how we impact people in ways we don't know. I believe it was Jimmy's first movie post-service in World War II, so he'd have had a special perspective to bring to that. Really? Why so many pine trees? Maybe it has to do with Christmas. Just guessing. I don't know. Okay, yeah, get it now. The movie was very significant in his recovery and getting his life back, say Bob and Viv. So special significance there. How is my realty career going? Asked Pete. Well, an interesting one. I think I'm still finding my feet in the real estate world, Pete, because it's so interesting how it's done in Portugal. And I did start with the greatest of intentions to change the game, but I'm going to have to leave that to professionals like Tony, I think. But I will play my part in real estate in Portugal. I think I'm one of the ambassadors, possibly, that Tony speaks about. And I love... Yeah, I want to be involved in someone. I still haven't found out the right way to do it. And I think it connects.
I will tell you that real estate has nothing to do with real estate, with houses. It's all to do with people. People. Yes. Okay, it's people. This is a people business. So you're great for it. I think you just need to probably find a rhythm. Definitely moonlight. Nothing wrong with it. Having a little side hustle or something.
That sounds about
right. We can all use a little extra cash. If anything, you could then just get a taxi and we can get you some pictures. I'll get you some pictures of houses and then you could show them to people when they come out of the airplane.
I could just drive a taxi and stick them on the back seat as people get in. Yeah, I will find my place in real estate. I think it's understanding where you best fit in, isn't it? A bit like if you want to make God laugh, show him or her your plans. So I'm just taking my time now, actually. And I think the most important thing is to find the sort of authentic way of being and relating to people. And as you say, I think, Ted, it comes out of that, doesn't it? It's a people business. So, not brilliantly, Pete, is the answer to that in some ways, but a lot of groundwork certainly is what I've been doing over the last couple of years. And I think I can safely say I've been responsible or influential in helping one or two people find a home in Portugal. And perhaps the real estate thing is just an extension of that. I don't really know yet. I don't really know, to answer your question. So maybe my cry movie first date approach is why I'm solo. James, could be, but you never know. There might be that person who just is dying to meet the person who will be authentic enough to cry on a first date. And bingo. Oh, what's happening here? I'm watching you in full 4K on my 75-inch beast. I don't recommend that. But it takes all sorts. You'll like our wine quiz. We'll do a bit of that in a minute. And let's do it now, actually, because we haven't got much time left. But infinite-solutions.pt is the... look, we're broadcasting on the San Martino de Porto guide as well this morning because we can. But that's the website for Antonio. Any other ways that you would prefer people to get in touch with you? How, why, when, and where, Tony, while we're doing that?
Yeah, I'm going to put it in the chat box here in the YouTube, and you could see it. Probably, you have Antonio10k.com because it has all my social media platforms, from everything, and also for my WhatsApp number. But either way, either through the website, but it's real easy. Antonio10k.com.
That is going in now when Microsoft gets out of the way, telling me about Ronaldo and the NASDAQ going up and down. So
we got the game today. We have the game today. Don't forget at 7:00 here. Huh?
7 o'clock. I've got
Portugal plays the Swiss. Portugal plays Switzerland today. I've
got a webinar at 9, so it should all be done and dusted.
Yeah, don't call me at 7. In between 7 and 9, I'm not taking calls. That's like I've been accustomed to the Portuguese way of doing things in the culture. We don't do things when between 7 and 9. The phones are off, and we're just watching the game. So
sorry, I've got that wrong there. Let me just make this right. Antonio 10K is what we need, isn't it? I think I put an extra K in there. So Antonio,
don't put Antonio.com because you know what? That's I got it goes to a XXX rated website. I didn't know that. I can't
believe it, Tony. I've really messed up. I put it in like 7 times now.
I said that one time to yes. It was like in your I just typed it in and I actually got banned from Facebook for 30 days because
please don't click that, anybody. So what is the real just tell me one more time. So
Antonio10k.com.
Oh, Antonio10k.com. I think we've got that right now on the screen. That is good. Okay, thank goodness for that. All right, yeah. I don't want to get you banned from Facebook for another 30 days, or it'd be worse.
Not me. I put it in like as a message somewhere or something, and and it went, and it's true. I forgot the K. So Antonio.com. Ooh,
Okay.
it was just a thing anyway. But
different Tony. Okay, so let's do a little bit of this because I know you like your wine. And we had a lot of fun with this last night, and I did a few of the questions yesterday. I think only about 5 of them, to be fair. So we got a few more. I'll have a little bit of festive and wine-based fun this morning. It tells you a little bit about Portugal as well. So first question then, which of these famous people has not been associated with Portugal's world-famous Mateus Rosé brand? Is it A, Jimi Hendrix, B, Frank Sinatra, C, Queen Elizabeth II, or D, Saddam Hussein? We'll do the questions and answers as we go then. So what do you make of that, Tony? And you'd have seen this morning the wonderful picture of Jimi Hendrix. So he's definitely associated with the brand. What do you make of the others there?
I think the one that's missing is if I remember correctly, is Frank Sinatra.
You're right. Frank Sinatra doesn't have an obvious connection. Queen Elizabeth II had Mateus Rosé in her cellar, which Charles has inherited now, of course. And Saddam Hussein was associated with Mateus Rosé. So very good. Excellent stuff, Tony. How many native grape varieties is Portugal thought to have? Is it 28 and a half? Too many to enjoy in one lifetime. I think that's true. Is it 285 or is it 2,850? Now, native grape varieties is the clue here, the native ones, because there are hundreds of grape varieties that are used here, but the native grape varieties, what would you say, A, B, C, or D, Tony?
Well, without a doubt, there's 13 wine regions. Oops, I'm not sure if that's a question. How many wine regions are in Portugal? But I'm probably, and I didn't watch this last night, so I just want you to know. So if I pass the quiz, that means I know a little bit about wine. Wine for me has been something I learned there in Portugal. Wine is culture, so definitely learning about it is something that you need to know about traditions and culture in Portugal. We have 13 wine regions, and we don't have many autochthonous grape varieties. Okay, so a lot of them 285 we don't have. I think it is 28.5, only because you have Touriga Nacional. I mean, I could probably name them all here, but it's not 285. We don't have, so then definitely too many to enjoy in one lifetime. Not so much. It's 8. I would go with 8.
We might have to go back to the drawing board because I think the distinction might be on native here. The answer I got was 285 native grape varieties, hundreds more if you look at the reds and the whites. But I think you're probably going on the standard grapes that are used in wine production here, including the Touriga Nacional, which is another question that comes up. So maybe back to the drawing board there, and a point of contention that you sometimes get with quizzes. Thank you for that one, Tony. Talking of which, Tempranillo, and you with your border hopping here. Tempranillo is the grape variety known to make red wine in its native Spain. What is its name in Portugal? Is it Rio Tinto Zinc? Is it Tintin? Is it the Tintonet? Or is it Tinta Roriz? Tony, don't get this one wrong.
And that's not correctly correct. It is.
Oh, no, another one.
It is Tinta de Roriz, but Tempranillo is our Touriga Nacional. That's Tempranillo in Spain. In Portugal, right? It's Touriga Nacional. But Tinta Roriz is the most approximate to Touriga Nacional. So D.
Yes, absolutely right for D. And this is the subjective world of wine, isn't it? These arguments run and run, don't they, as to what? Because I've got a Touriga Nacional question that says which is the most used and finest grape in Portugal, and that's bound to be a crowd divider. But yes, Touriga Nacional, if we get to that, is the answer.
The Douro. The answer is A, the Douro.
Very straightforward and spot on. No one can remember. Some people are in that condition. It's not the Alentejo, it's certainly not Benfica. Well done, Tony.
It's also not only the first, one of the oldest and first demarcated wine that has to do with when the kings, just so you know, when the kings wanted to get that product. That's why you see DOC, the origin de mercado, or you have and the Douro is also classified as UNESCO's World Heritage, the Valley, and so
isn't that amazing? And it goes back to 1756. And the Brits had a connection with they were importing their first wines and ports and so on from Portugal way back many centuries.
I was almost tempted to go with Benfica, but
Some people will be determined that is the right answer with their love of Benfica. We'll just do a few more greetings. Well,
I love it. I love it. Benfica.
Let's leave this question hanging here for a minute while we speak to a few more folks. Antonio F is here. Good morning to you. It's hard to use my phone to chat. Oh, I see. That's why you got the big 75-incher up this morning, perhaps. Pete, I have Alpha to do the sniffing for me. I wonder what's going on there between Pete and they certainly have a certain tone, those two. It's getting a bit man-cavey in here, fellas. Back to sleep. Enjoy the rest of the show all from Desert Dweller. And Mr. Ambassador, this is to you. I think you are really spoiling us. And hi, Antonio. That could be Antonio F or you, Antonio. Lots of rain, but no flooding here. Yeah, sorry to see that there's been flooding in the Algarve. It's been pretty difficult for some people down there. And on the upside, the reservoirs must be getting a little bit fuller now. But sorry to see the flooding. Don't forget, the next public holiday is Thursday. Thank you for that. So that's good. Always good to know. Here in Portugal, next public holiday is usually sometime this week. On this particular week, it will be Thursday. Has anyone seen the ref of the holiday, the last holiday, and name some other Christmas movies we can all watch? I love a variety. Very good. And C, not the right answer for this one that's on the screen at the moment. Die Hard is the best movie, Christmas movie ever. A Christmas Story for you, OLP. You'll shoot your eye out. I don't know that one, but thank you for that, Victoria. Star Wars, great Christmas movies. Really? Love Me, a 007 Marathon on Christmas Day. Yes, that sounds like a good twist. And agree on Die Hard, says Francis. Home Alone, best kids Christmas movie. Thanks for these reminders, everybody. And hey, Andy, in answer to your question about baking, did some amazing lemon pound cake with lemon glaze and oh, that sounds good, doesn't it, Tony? Lemon glaze with raspberries. Next up is orange cakes with chocolate. Oh, stop it!
That will go really good with the Benfica wine.
Wouldn't it just? Yes, or a Vinho. I think a little bit of bit of fresh fizz with or even red wine. Actually, Leona was drinking red wine last night with a lemon drizzle cake, and she said that was a fantastic pairing. Die Hard is the best Christmas movie, followed by A Wonderful Life. The fact he had to do a snow scene with coat and scarf in 90 degrees. And OLP, thanking you for all the movie ideas. Brilliant, keep them coming. So, which of these terms or abbreviations is not a Portuguese wine quality classification? You mentioned the DOC there, didn't you? Which is Vinho Regional and Vinho, the table wine. Those are the three classifications, right, Tony?
Yeah, and pão queijo, no. And you know what that means? Pão queijo. That means like, take it or leave it. This is what it is, Pão,
yes.
Yeah. That's a slogan. But I want to go back to the holiday. December 8th it is a holiday. It's on Thursday, and it's the date of the Immaculate Conception. Before Mother's Day, just so you know, in Portugal, now it is on the first week of May, right? The first Sunday, which is internationally Mother's Day. But December 8th was always traditionally the Mother's Day in Portugal. Okay, that was changed a few years ago. But it was Mother's Day, and that's because of the Immaculate Conception of Maria, right? Of Mary. And so that used to be in Portugal, Dia da Mãe, Mother's Day, December 8th.
All right, thank you for that. Very good. And so a day off. I'm trying to put your other website up here. A day off on Thursday for many then. And that's what will be happening, right? That will be a public holiday right across all of Portugal on Thursday.
Yep.
Of the Immaculate Conception. Okay, so back to the quiz then. In our last few moments together this morning, pão queijo is a useful phrase, but it is not a Portuguese wine quality classification. Look at this, and we had a lot of confusion last night because we didn't really know what a hectare was. Portugal has approximately 92,000 kilometers squared of land. How much of this is thought to be vineyards? Is it 224,000 hectares, 100 hectares when it comes to tax returns? Every effort to find out has been thwarted by wine tasting. And what is a hectare? So if you're in the real estate business, what units are generally used? Acres, hectares, obviously square footages. What units do we tend to use? And does that confuse Americans who are still on imperial, Tony?
Yeah, it's square meters. But you know what? If you have 100 square meters, just throw a zero at the end, so you have 1,000 square foot. It's that simple.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
If you a hectare is 10,000 square meters, okay, which an acre is 4,000, more or less 4,000 square meters. And so if you have 8,000 square, 4,000 1 acre, etc. But acres is more of the U.S. and British too. Well, I'm not sure. British use the metric system as well, but the Canadians and North Americans, it's all about square footage. Just put a 0 in the end.
Okay, so it's the only sensible answer there is 224,000 hectares. So,
yeah.
But that's a lot of vineyard, thankfully. And I don't know how they would have estimated that from public records, because there are a lot of people with their own vineyards as well. But we do really punch above our weight here in Portugal when it comes to
220. 224,000 hectares is 2,240,000 square meters. That's a lot of land.
It is a lot of land.
It's a lot of land. And, you got to remember, there's 13 wine regions, right? So you have the Minho, the Vinho Verde, you have the Douro, you have the Trás-os-Montes, you have the Dom, Lafões, you have the Bairradas, you have the Lisbon, you have the Tejo, even Madeira and Azores have its own. And there's certain areas, like, for example, in the Alentejo, and as you mentioned, maybe big wine estates, but a lot of them, Portugal is not big on a lot of quantity. It's all about quality, right? There's not a lot. And so if you go into a supermarket, even at the middle of the shelves or at the bottom, any wine bottle you pick, just close your eyes, you could get a great one for under €3 at 250. Really beautiful wines. I mean, if anything, go pick the Pingo Doce, Touriga Nacional. Okay, it's divine. For less than, it's €2.49. They, even when they have it on special, pick up a couple of bottles extra, and they get it from the local productors, right? The agriculture, and they slap their no frills label on there but it's delicious, and you don't have to pay no 20 or 30 or 40 euros for a bottle of wine. It's a no frills. Touriga Nacional in Pingo Doce, definitely.
That's a great recommendation. That's because some people might be put off by that.
One of my best, and you pay less than €3.
Fantastic. Good to know. Okay. You're good at maths, obviously, or math, as you might say in America. Can you help us with this one? Calendar issues. December the 8th, day of conception, December the 21st, day of birth. That is either a very short gestation or a very long one. We're not celebrating the actual acts, are we, of conception and birth? They are celebrations that they actually happened, not necessarily on those actual days. Would that be right, Tony?
That's about right, but you got to look at it in biblical terms. Things work quicker, so
miracles are worked.
Exactly. You forgot about the miracle worker. That's the real tour. Maybe Mary was also a real tour.
Yes, exactly. A miracle worker. Have a fantastic day, says Pete. He's got to go off for his lesson with Philomena, and we'll be talking to Philomena, of course, on Friday. Michael Heron tomorrow, so I'm sure we'll be talking about the World Cup tomorrow with Hieronymus Maximus. Just a couple more questions then. Enjoying doing this with you, Tony. Thank you very much.
How am I doing, Carl?
You're doing great. Apart from that, what did we have? The native grape variety gate, which will run and run. You've got a clean sheet so far by my reckoning. Benfica popping up again here, and this is the controversial one, isn't it? Which grape is thought to produce the most and finest wines in Portuguese wine production? Is it A, the Happy Mondays members who became black grape, who may or may not now live in Portugal? Is it B, Touriga Nacional? Is it C, the Barga grape, or is it D, the Benfica grape?
Oh, it's Benfica, but that's my first choice. I mean, that cannot be wrong, and it has to be Benfica. No, we'll go with Touriga Nacional. Touriga Nacional, that's where the port wine comes from too.
Right, this is a bit British, this question, and we'll end here because it's good fun, and it caused a lot of discussion last night. In the British tradition of serving port, which way should, and people can be forgiven for not knowing this because it is very Brit-centric, which way should the bottle or decanter be passed around the table? A, to the right, B, under the table, or C, to the left, or D, via the Bishop of Norwich, which is part of this whole story. And we have a C already from Andrew Gilchrist. He's Lord Gilchrist. If he didn't know this, I would be very surprised. What would you go with, Tony, on this one?
Yeah, I would go with left only because, it's always going to be leaving, right? And you're not getting it back. So that's why the port wine. I would go with C, to the left, because the bottle is going to be leaving to the left. Left.
You're right. This is an American, Portuguese, and British view on port. Is you're not going to get it again. And the way the British have dealt with this is it mustn't touch the table. You give it to the left, and it's poured, and you pass it on. If it gets put down on the table, or somebody holds on to it, at that point, somebody British is likely to say, have you heard about the Bishop of Norwich? At which point you're allowed to shame them with telling them with a protocol, which is it mustn't touch the table and it must continually pass to the left. And on a big table, as I think you quite rightly point out there, Tony, it's not coming back, is it? It's going to get emptied and we're going to have to get another bottle, I think.
Carl,
so there you go, to the left.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you a little joke of Portuguese. This is from the Alentejo, right? So an Alentejo family was driving into Lisbon, right? And they were, and so, the Alentejo, they're a little bit slower. Things are more quiet. It's too hot, right? Yes. So they're driving into Lisbon and they see a sign, airport left. So they turn around, come back home.
Oh, because the airport left. Okay, thank you. All right, people, I will be sharing that. I will be sharing that with my kids, especially later on today. Thank you for that material. Thank you, T-Duck, for your material, and everybody else who sent wonderful photographs and contributions in. Do please send in a Christmas video to wish the rest of us to come. Oh, you're having some work done, Tony. Sound like you've got a big drill in the background there.
The work, you mean the noise with the bricks and there?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in the. I'm always rebuilding, you know that. And so,
all right. Please send in your vids, folks, so that we can celebrate in our community here, so that we can celebrate all across Portugal and all around the world. You don't have to be in Portugal to send me a Christmas video, but it'd be lovely to see you in it and wishing everybody a happy Christmas, which we will do to you now, Tony. Boas festas, Feliz, not Feliz Navidad. Well, you're on the Spanish side. Feliz Natal. Thank you so much for being here, bringing your special brand of miracle working in real estate and as a realtor to the Good Morning Portugal show. Great to have you here this morning, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Carl. Bye, guys. Bye.
So what have you got? What are you doing for the rest of the day? You're continuing your birthday celebrations, I take it, Tony.
I already started celebrating my birthday right after Thanksgiving, pretty much in December. And so today and the next month and then Christmas. So it kind of overlaps everything, So I have dozens and dozens of calls to return and wishful days, thanking me. So, but busy and, taking care of business. I have going over to the gym for a workout now a little bit. I got worked up here with you, Carl. So I got to work off that
already.
Yeah, I got to go hit the gym a little bit always. I have an hour here, so definitely. But good to see you.
I'm putting your details up on the screen, and they'll be there at the end of the show after the titles, which we're going to play now. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow with Heronius Maximus. Take care. Bye for now.
There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.